Hello everyone! Today we're going to dive into one of the most essential ways of thinking to prepare for the future, big picture thinking. Have you ever found yourself wondering, I have learned so much in school, but I have no idea how to use this knowledge in real life? Or, the problems I face, I don't really have clear answers. How am I supposed to solve them? Today, we're going to explore the answers to these questions. We'll talk about why we need to shift our way of thinking, what big picture thinking is truly about, and how this mindset can transform not just your life, but also your future. Stick with me till the end. You won't want to miss this. When I first arrived at Oxford in the UK, confident in my model student status back in Korea, my very first class hit me like a ton of bricks. The professor asked, "How do you know that you know?" My mind went blank. Why? Because no one had ever asked me that before. I've never thought about why I believed what I believed. But the questions didn't stop here. The professor kept pushing. What makes you so sure this is the truth? And whenever I managed the answer, the response was always, "Why do you think that?" Oxford education system is built entirely on this kind of questioning. It doesn't hand you answers, but instead challenges you to think critically and to find logical explanations on your part. For example, in a philosophy class, we tackled ethical dilemmas like, is it morally right to sacrifice one person to save 5 others? There was no correct answer. Instead, we had to use logical reasoning to support our perspectives. This process doesn't just fill your mind with knowledge, it teaches you how to think and develop your unique viewpoint. And because of this emphasis on critical thinking, one of the most important assignments in every course was writing essays. But even with essays, there was no fixed answer. For instance, in a political science course, the essay question might be, why is democracy superior to dictatorship? The point was not to list all the advantages of democracy. You could even argue that dictatorship is better, as long as you could back your claim with sound reasoning and evidence. Through this process, students naturally developed critical thinking and persuasive writing skills. So after experiencing this pedagogy at Oxford, one burning question stayed with me. Is this unique to the UK or Oxford? Or do other countries educate this way too? This curiosity led me to study comparative education, a field that examines and compares education systems, cultures, and philosophies worldwide. Let me share some fascinating discoveries I made during my research. In countries considered leaders in education, like the US, UK, Finland, Germany, and Singapore, which I dealt with in my first monograph, process-based and open-ended learning is a shared priority. But 2 countries stood out to me in particular, Germany and Finland. In Germany, the focus is on reading and debate. Students are given a book to read and engage in discussions where they critique its contents or analyze it from a fresh perspective. For example, after reading a classic like 1984, students might discuss, is a surveillance society always bad? They don't just repeat what they have read. They connect the materials with their personal experiences and societal contexts, presenting their arguments logically. Finland, on the other hand, emphasizes question-based learning starting as early as elementary school. For instance, a teacher might ask, why is the earth round? Rather than handing them the answer, students are encouraged to research using books or the internet and write essays based on their findings. Even if their answers are incorrect, that's okay. The focus is on what the resources they used, how they analyzed those resources, and how they built their arguments. With this emphasis on essay writing and critical thinking, students in these countries move beyond simply reproducing memorized knowledge. They learn how to think for themselves and create new ideas, equipping them with the skills needed to tackle real-world challenges. Let me share another fascinating example with you. In Finland and the UK, even mathematics incorporates assessments of the problem-solving process. Students are awarded partial credit not just for arriving at the correct answer, but for demonstrating the logical reasoning behind their solutions. For instance, if a student uses the formula x squared plus y squared equals r squared to solve a problem, but makes a calculation error, they can still receive credit if their logical process is correct. This approach emphasizes the importance of the problem-solving process over simply getting the right answer. Ultimately, this method helps students develop logical thinking and creative problem-solving skills. This focus on reading, logical reasoning, and process-based assessments go beyond merely transmitting knowledge. It teaches students to think independently and develop their own perspectives. This approach was one of the most valuable lessons I learned at Oxford, and it's a common value shared by leading education systems worldwide. Friends, the world we live in is evolving faster than we ever imagined. The fourth industrial revolution and the advancements in artificial intelligence and other technologies are not just technological innovations. They're fundamentally reshaping societal structures and industries. Amid these challenges, the biggest issue I see with many education systems, including Korea, is that it emphasizes memorization over critical thinking. For instance, in Korea, education is largely centered on objective tests that evaluate the ability to find the correct answers. However, in the AI era, memorizing answers is no longer enough. Why? Because machines are far better at recalling and delivering accurate information than humans. For example, artificial intelligence can analyze data faster than we could ever imagine and provide optimal solutions almost instantly. This leads us to a crucial question. If AI already knows the answers, what should humans focus on? According to the World Economic Forum's report, The Future of Jobs, many future occupations will involve jobs that don't even exist today. And more than half of the jobs we currently know may disappear. This means our children will need to solve problems that haven't been defined yet and create roles that have yet to be imagined. But can our current memorization-based education system equip them with these skills? To this question, I firmly say, absolutely not. What we need to teach you are skills that machines cannot replicate, which are creative thinking and integrative problem solving. So many people see AI and humans in a competitive adversarial relationship. If AI replaces our jobs, what will we do? It's natural to feel concerned, but I would like to offer a different perspective. AI is not our enemy, it can be our partner. This is where Moravec's paradox becomes important. This paradox states that machines excel at tasks that humans find difficult, while struggling with tasks humans find easy. For instance, While AI is exceptionally good at analyzing large data sets and finding answers, it still lags behind humans in areas like abstract thinking, moral judgment, and creative problem solving. One of my favorite comparisons is between chess and StarCraft. In chess, with its clearly defined rules and calculable possibilities, AI consistently outperforms humans. But in StarCraft, a strategy game, humans still dominate. Why? Because StarCraft demands the ability to assess the broader situation and strategically plan, essentially, big picture thinking. So big picture thinking involves connecting knowledge and experiences from various fields to create innovative solutions. For example, imagine solving a corporate merger issue. Instead of relying solely on economic data, you might draw inspiration from historical examples, such as how European royalty forged alliances through strategic marriages. This type of creative connection is where humans outperform machines. Another area where AI struggles is moral and social judgment. While AI might analyze data to suggest the most efficient decision, it cannot determine whether this choice is the most ethical for humans. This is why humans must coexist with AI and strengthen the areas where only humans excel. So why is big picture thinking essential in the AI era? The answer lies in the complexity of the problems we now face. Issues like climate change, social inequality, and the clash between technology and ethics do not have simple answers. Solving these challenges requires the ability to connect diverse knowledge and perspectives to create entirely new solutions. But beyond addressing these technical issues, big picture thinking is also vital for preserving what makes us human. No matter how intelligent AI becomes, it's up to us, as humans, to shape the society, drive meaningful changes, and set the direction for our collective future. So friends, what is the biggest challenge in today's education system? Is that the focus is placed more on what to learn than on how to learn. This emphasis on accumulating knowledge has led students to excel in memorization and test taking. But is this truly preparing them to thrive in the future? Especially in the era of the fourth industrial revolution, traditional methods of education are no longer efficient and sufficient to address the challenges we face. AI can already analyze vast amounts of data faster and more accurately than humans. To coexist and carve out a unique role alongside AI, we need to cultivate the kind of creative and integrative thinking the machines cannot replicate. This is why big picture thinking is becoming more critical than ever. For years, education has been heavily rooted in memorization-focused, multiple-choice assessments and answer-centric thinking. Students are trained to find the right answer, leaving little room to critically evaluate problems or explore innovative solutions. In schools, most problems come with definitive answers. For example, consider the question, "The earth is round," and explain why. The answer is fixed and straightforward. But what about the problems we face in real life? Issues like climate change, social inequality, and economic disparity often have no clear answers. Such problems cannot be solved with rote knowledge alone. They require us to view issues from multiple perspectives and craft creative, innovative solutions. Unfortunately, today's education rarely trains students to handle these open-ended problems. As a result, many students graduate only to find themselves unprepared and overwhelmed when confronted with real-world challenges that lack definitive solutions. So how can education evolve to better prepare students for the future? We need to move beyond answer-centric education and foster big picture thinking to equip students with the ability to solve problems that lack predefined answers. Here are 3 strategies to achieve this. The first strategy is project-based learning. Shift away from traditional knowledge delivery and engage students in solving real-world problems. For instance, a project might ask, what can I do to help mitigate climate change? In tackling this, students would integrate knowledge from environmental science, sociology, and economics to propose solutions. This approach encourages students not just to memorize, but to ask questions, research, and construct their own logical responses. Problem-based learning effectively prepares students to tackle complex, open-ended problems with creative and practical approaches. The second strategy is diversifying thinking styles. Big picture thinking thrives on the combination of diverse thinking approaches, including design thinking, which generates user-centered creative solutions to real-world challenges, and lateral thinking, which breaks conventional frameworks to explore new ideas, and also systems thinking, which analyzes complex systems and understanding interconnected elements, and metacognitive thinking, which helps one to reflect on and improving one's learning and thinking processes. And finally, logical thinking, which draws structured and evidence-based conclusions. So by training students in these varied thinking styles, they can better analyze problems from multiple angles and craft innovative solutions. The third strategy is shifting to process-oriented assessments. We have to move away from multiple choice testing and adopt process-focused assessments. For example, ask students to write essays on topics like propose strategies to reduce environmental pollution. In evaluating their responses, you have to focus on the logic of their arguments, their creative approaches, and the steps they took to solve the problems. In Finland, even in math, students are graded more on how they explain their problem-solving process than on arriving at the correct answer. This evaluation method helps students recognize the value of their thought process and fosters creative and integrative thinking. As we navigate through the transformative era of AI, it's clear that the challenges we face are no longer simple or isolated. From environmental crisis to ethical dilemmas in technology, today's problems require solutions that are creative, interconnected, and forward-thinking. This is why big picture thinking is more essential than ever. AI is incredibly powerful at analyzing data, identifying patterns, and delivering precise answers. But it's up to us, humans, to connect those answers to real-world contexts, consider ethical implications, and craft solutions that go beyond efficiency to truly improve lives. Big picture thinking enables us to see beyond the immediate and obvious. It allows us to integrate diverse perspectives, anticipate unintended consequences, and create strategies that address not just symptoms, but root causes. It's about using logic, creativity, empathy, and systems-level understanding to complement what AI does best. In the AI era, what sets us apart as humans is not what we know, but how we think. By embracing big picture thinking, we can lead with vision, innovate responsibly, and ensure that the process we make with AI aligns with the needs of humanity. So let's cultivate this mindset, not just for ourselves, but the future of our children. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope this inspires you to approach challenges with a broader, more meaningful perspective. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.